Hey guys, so in this video we are answering a subscriber question, and the question in question is, Frederick, what are your thoughts on what we should look for in a junior developer position or job position? So let's get into it. Basically, the core of this question is, what should you look out for? Like, what should the hints, if you will, to look for when you're applying for a junior level position of some sort? And I think this is a great question because it's something that is a bit of a lie. I will give you an example from my own life that hopefully will illustrate this fairly well. So I am currently training a junior developer. She's been working, she's self-taught. She has 2 years of, if I remember correctly now, 2 years of professional experience working at a small, like, basically agency type of deal where she's done like some web development, right? And well, basically I've been charged with taking care of her, basically being her mentor for up until such a point that she feels comfortable being, on her own. And she told me the other day when I was showing her some of the, like, basically we were just working, as she's shadowing me, I show her like we just work and I explain like my reasoning and like how we do things and so forth. And we had this point where she just asked me like, how can you know all this stuff? I mean, this is much different from what I'm used to doing. And I kind of went, yeah, well, I kind of figured that much. And she kind of looked at me a little bit confused. What do you mean? Well, I kind of knew, like, you may not think so, but sometimes I actually do have, I'm not as dumb as I look. I could tell from our interview that we know, everybody here knows that you are, nobody's surprised that you are a junior developer because you've been working at a very small, type of agency, and I kind of asked it, and I'm guessing you've been working alone, primarily in PHP and Node.js and some basic JavaScript, most likely. We're using tools like Bootstrap and maybe some jQuery. And she went, kind of shocked a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah, because that's usually how things start for people who are completely self-taught or people who work at the lower levels, like on the simpler end of IT. And as you probably notice now, the sort of development we do here at like a real IT company, you see that the bar kind of rose on you quite quickly. And she went, yeah, I mean, I feel so stupid, like I feel like I can't do anything. And to a point, I mean, this is something I've told her as well. You don't have to, like in my company, you don't have to worry so much about that because we've already established that you have the potential to learn all of these things. It's more about that we as a company now need to make the decision, how inexperienced is it okay for you to be? In other words, how much of an investment are we willing to make into your development as a software developer? You should feel, again, I told you, like you're pretty lucky because we have a fairly high threshold for this. Like, we're willing to invest quite a lot in order to get you up to speed and like make you a professional or like train you properly. Most companies, quite a lot of companies, will not make that sort of investment. They already kind of want you to be almost self-reliant fairly like immediately, which is one of the toughest things when it comes to being a junior, because you need some time to learn and be trained in a proper manner. And if you have had the unfortunate situation of, like, because she's been working for 2 years, to be in a company where they don't actually develop you, you think that you are learning things that is going to just set you up for success in the rest of the industry, without realizing that you're actually not being prepared for doing the sort of development that you do at proper IT companies. You're simply working in a context where you think that the things that you are doing is professional grade software development. And she told me, like, she kind of confided in me and said that, yeah, she feels like she can't do anything, and she's the dumbest person, she feels like the dumbest person alive. And I told her, like, that I understand that, but that's okay, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you become the sort of person that can do all this stuff on your own. As long as you want to learn, I will train you. I will make sure that this happens. That's on me to make sure that, like, as long as you have the will and the passion and you invest the hours and I can see that you're actually interested in learning, I will train you. And that's the thing that I want you guys to kind of consider when you're looking for a junior level position of some sort. You see, the idea this woman had when she started was that just doing any type of software development is going to make her, to give her a career in IT. That is absolutely false. She spent 2 years working as an island with these basic JavaScript and PHP projects, which she thinks is like, when she was doing it, she most likely thought that this is the sort of stuff that we do, they do at Google. Absolutely not. This is the bare bone levels. This is like not in like the distance between that sort of development and the sort of development you do at bigger companies is quite large, and that's something that she kind of it's a kind of a rough awakening for some developers who realize that, they think that they have relevant experience, but they don't actually have that relevant experience. And unless they have that, they will find it very hard to get any type of meaningful, get a position at anywhere. They get turned down for absolutely everything because they think that they have professional grade experience when they actually don't. So when you're looking for a junior level position, the first and most important thing for you to really think about is that you are getting a job in a company that does professional grade software development, not a small time agency who has some small local businesses or small clients, anything like that. Not anything like that. You're looking for real IT companies. Companies that primarily work with larger applications, like product companies, things of this nature, where they know how to do proper, real professional grade software development. Because, as I said, there's a range to these things. You can work on the low end and do some very basic WordPress sites or things of this nature, and you can work at Google. That range is quite large. Like the difference is immense when it comes to personal development and skill requirements. So being somewhere in the middle or like as high up as you can is the best thing for your career. That's the first thing. So really make sure that you're picking your company correctly. Second thing is the other thing that I was saying here. So different companies have a different policy on how much they are willing to invest in you as a person. In other words, how much money, because let's not kid ourselves. The time that I spend training her is money from the company, that the company is spending money so that she gets training. Each company has a different pain threshold for how much they're willing to invest in their developers, and what you're looking for as a junior developer is a company that is willing to make that investment. Quite a lot of companies don't want to make that investment. They simply are looking for candidates that are already kind of senior or already kind of experienced, so that maybe they train them for just a really short while and then they're effective kind of immediately. And as a junior, that's a very bad thing for you. Ideally, what you want is to find a company that has this mindset that, okay, we're hiring you for a long-term type of occupation or long-term role within the company. And we understand that we are going to have to train you, because if their expectations is that you're just going to be productive from day one as a junior, maybe you are, maybe you're not, but at least having the ability to shoot ideas off and collaborate with a more senior profile, that's kind of vital to your personal development. Because if you get to that point where my coworker was, where you work in absolute isolation, then you have no frame of reference. You don't actually develop anything, but developing by yourself is not going to propel you forward in your career in the same manner as if you have a team of developers with more experience with you that can actually answer your questions, give you feedback, and give you learning materials, and actually invest in you so that you actually grow as a developer. So what I want you to take away from this is that when you're looking for a junior position, really make sure that you're going into a real IT company, that the skills that you are going to be required to have in that company and the skills that you need to develop are on par with professional grade software development, because quite a lot of companies don't actually have they don't give you that. There's quite a lot of companies, especially smaller agencies and small consultancy firms, that they do some basic software development, but it's not at the professional level. And if you want to have a long career within software development, you're going to have to step it up. And the best thing for you in that scenario is to, already set the expectations correctly. Go into a real software company from the get-go. Because if you lowball it, you don't know how things are going to turn out. My coworker I don't think she even realizes how immensely lucky she is, because it's very rare for a company to invest in a person who has a fairly poor understanding of just like almost professional grade software development who's starting that fresh. Some companies do. And that's the second thing that you need to take away. Make sure that the company that you are going to is actually has a plan for developing you as a junior developer. Because if they don't, if they have you working as a single person, like an island or something like that, it's very unlikely that you will develop your skills as quickly as you should. So the best thing for you is to find some type of product company or an agency or consultancy that actually has a plan for how to train you, where they allocate senior resources to make sure that you have somebody to collaborate with or mentor you in some fashion. These are the things that are going to really make you learn the sort of things that you need in order to survive in IT for the rest of your career. So hopefully this was useful to you. Have a great day.